Right. Hello and welcome to Renaissancepodcast Live. My name's Anne.
And I'm Guy.
And today we're going to talk to you about, I think, the most important thing in life, actually, which is
Happiness.
Happiness. And what is happiness? Okay. And by the end of this video, we're hoping, this is a big ambition, we're hoping that we are going to teach you guys different ways to actually improve your happiness. And it may be slightly different from, some of you may be thinking, okay, is he going to somehow transfer money to my account or something like that? It's going to be a slightly different sort of take on happiness.
Well, a good way to find out, your level of happiness is to explain, what is happiness to you? A lot of people will say this is money, this is cars, this is a woman, this is a good job. But research has shown that if you look at money in particular, that affects your level of happiness by about 1% north or south.
Okay.
So very little impact on what your actual happiness is.
Yeah.
A lot of students straight out of university, when seeking a job or seeking a future career, they say, I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that is shaped and guided by a career in which they think they can get the most money.
Yeah.
Which we've seen in the conversations that we've had, the research that we've been doing, and the science that backs it, that those materialistic things do not actually contribute to our level of happiness.
So then you may be wondering, okay, if it's not all those things, then what are you guys trying to offer me? Is this some sort of a magic pill? Well, in a sense, I often think, yes, actually, we're going to offer you a slightly different kind of magic pill to your happiness, something that some of you may actually, what we're going to introduce you to is a concept called mindfulness. And it's backed up with the latest science. But it's something that, if you haven't looked into, could change your life for the better. Okay? So maybe you can talk to us briefly, or talk to the audience briefly, G, about what this mindfulness is and what it promises to do.
Well, I like to begin that answer by saying we have approximately 70,000 thoughts.
70,000?
Every day in our mind.
Wow.
It's a big number. It's a number that kind of shocked me when I first heard it. Mm-hmm. But when I started to explore, a good exercise to do is just to sit with your thoughts for 1 minute and don't think about anything in particular, or think about whatever you want. But while you're doing that, you'll notice that within a very short amount of time, all these different thoughts will pop into your mind. Like, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? I feel a bit hungry right now, or I'm bored, or why am I doing this? This is a waste of my time.
What are those two guys on about on the TV?
What are these two guys talking about? And the majority of those thoughts tend to be negative. And those negative thoughts have been proven by science now to actually have detrimental effects on your brain, on your physical state of the body. On the opposite side of that, on the flip side of that, the more positive thoughts that you have, the more beneficial, the more positive aspects your body has as a result of that. But as an immediate answer to your question about mindfulness, it's the ability to be aware of your thoughts as they arise, and to help you understand that you can have more control on how you deal with those thoughts than you originally did. One
of the pioneers of mindfulness, certainly in the West, is a guy called Kabat-Zinn, if you haven't already heard of him. And he, his definition is, paying attention deliberately in the present moment, non-judgmentally, and that's it. So it's being present. And you say, well, I'm here, I'm present. I'm watching you guys on the TV. You're here. We're present. Are you here? Yeah. It's like a tick. When I say to my, like a register, are you present? I am present. But often what you find is that you may be physically occupying a space, but your mind could be anywhere. You're not actually present. As a result, see, the funny thing is, as a result of quieting the chatter in your mind, you become happier, which is what we are going to hopefully during this course teach you guys is how to become happier. So number one, I think, is the techniques of mindfulness, which, as I said, is being in the present moment. It is a form of meditation, okay, but we have to stress that it's not meditation in a religious sense, is it, G?
No, I mean, that's the beauty of it. It's previously, when you speak of meditation and mindfulness, you do get a connotation and a relationship with, primarily Buddhism, and people see that as a religion. So you're trying to enforce your religion on me.
Yeah.
But what science has recently allowed us to show is that by doing some of these mindfulness techniques, and these techniques could be as simple as just taking a breath, inhaling and exhaling, and just concentrating on that. And that when some other thoughts come into your mind, being aware and being able to say, that's a thought. No, the aim of this game is not to let those thoughts come in. And when I do see them, I just take another breath and they go.
Yeah.
So that very simple exercise, repeated over, let's say, 20 minutes a day, is so powerful that it can actually change the shape of your brain within as little as 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But the John Kabat-Zinn, what you're talking about, he teaches an 8-week course because they feel that's the most optimum time. If you practice this, just focusing on your breath every day for 20 minutes, it allows the brain to change so much so that the front part of your brain that's responsible for the positive aspects like courage and creativity and happiness, compassion, those get reinforced and the shape of the brain actually grows.
Wow.
And the amygdala, which is responsible for the negative stuff like stress, depression, anxiety, anger, that actually starts to shrink.
Wow. So so this course you're talking about, and it's actually the MBSR course, the mindfulness based stress reduction.
Yes.
And so mindfulness is about being present, but it involves also a formal practice of meditation. Click on the link below, and we've got a guided meditation.
Yeah.
Talking about the various benefits of mindfulness, maybe we can name a few of the kind of benefits that would come. So, number one, stress. Mindfulness has been proven to reduce stress, anxiety, depression,
post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, and actually increase happiness, which is the goal of all goals, isn't it? Whatever, back to what we said, whatever we aim to do in life, is it not happiness that we all aim for?
10 minutes a day of your life, that's all it takes.
Okay, so 10 minutes a day of what exactly?
You're going to breathe in and you're going to breathe out.
Yeah.
When I do it, as I'm breathing in, I can feel a sensation on the top of my nose, and that's why I find it strongest when I inhale.
Yeah, and just focus on that.
And so I focus on that, and as I breathe in, I can feel it go past that point of sensitivity, and then when I breathe out, I feel it again. I'm going to be invaded with all these thoughts, and like I said before, it's a good thing, but I need to know that as these thoughts come in, that breath, the action of me doing that is going to remind me, that sensation, it's going to bring me back
your anchor
to my focus. It's going to anchor me back to my breath, and that is the completion of the push-up.
Yes. And one push-up alone does nothing. But if you want muscles like this over time, isn't it? Over time. So one push-up like this, you're not going to be. But over time, you gain muscle, and that's exactly analogous to the muscle in the brain, if you like. And the simple act of paying attention to the breath can have massive changes. Surprisingly, actually, if it wasn't for the test of modern science, I would actually not be convinced myself, if I was going to be honest with you, that someone was to say to me, spend your day sitting there 20 minutes, 10 minutes, focusing on your breath, and it's going to have all these effects. But luckily, fortunately, this is not just something that we've plucked out of thin air. There's a lot of scientific evidence.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
But that's why for so many years, people that did meditate were seen as fringe or a bit,
religious,
a bit far out.
Yeah.
Because they were doing it. But now that we've got the science to say, well, this is actually helping on so many different levels.
Yeah.
you can't use those same excuses as before.
Yeah.
And is the reason why on the cover of Time Out magazine, you'll see the word mindfulness and meditation almost in every journal that you pick up nowadays. And like Dr. Danny Penman said on our podcast, that in about 10 years it's going to be to a point where people are going to be going to gyms as they are going now for fitness of their body, but they'll be doing that for the brain.
Yeah, or just like brushing your teeth. It's just it's something we just take for granted. So, so for someone who wants to begin.
Go to Renaissancepodcast.com.
And you have a 10-day course, a beginner's 10-day course?
There's a beginner's 10-day course.
And how much is all this?
It's all free.
Absolutely free, fantastic.